It had been months since Jerry's soul-bearing performance in The Mirror Room. Offers kept flooding in. The public was obsessed again, but he remained elusive. Then, one morning, his assistant handed him a sealed white envelope. No return address. No logo. Just a single word handwritten on the front. Come. Inside was a plane ticket to Switzerland, and a short note. There's something I never got to show you. L. His hands trembled. It was her. Jerry arrived in a quiet town near Lake Geneva, shrouded in snow and silence. A car picked him up and drove through winding mountain paths. And then, he saw it. A small glass house, nestled alone on a snowy cliff. Inside, Luna stood, her back to the door, painting on a large canvas. When she turned, she smiled, not as a lover, but as someone who had missed a part of her soul. "I've been waiting," she whispered. They sat by the fire, drinking cocoa in silence. No paparazzi. No flashing cameras. Just two people who had loved and lost each other in the chaos of fame. Luna led him into a back room, walls covered in sketches, photos, and documents. In the center, a medical research folder, stamped confidential. "I didn't leave you because of fame, Jerry," she said. "I left because I was diagnosed." Jerry's heart stopped. Luna had been battling a rare autoimmune disease, silently, for 3 years. Her disappearing act wasn't fear. It was protection. "I didn't want you to watch me fade." Tears streamed down Jerry's face as he knelt beside her. "I would have held you through every second of it." But Luna wasn't dying. "I'm healing. Slowly. The treatments worked. But I had to walk through that fire alone." Before he left, Luna showed Jerry one last thing, a hidden basement beneath the glasshouse, filled with portraits of Jerry. Drawings of him farming. Sketches from news photos. A replica of him from Meteor Garden. And one painting stood out. Him, broken and crying, with flames behind him, titled, "Phoenix." "Even when I left, I watched you rise," she said. "I never stopped painting your soul." As dawn broke, Jerry and Luna stood on the cliff's edge, wrapped in a blanket of snow and silence. "Will I see you again?" he asked. Luna leaned in, touched his chest, and whispered, "I never left. I live here, in your fire." She kissed him, slow, soft, and unforgettable. Then she walked back into the glasshouse as Jerry got into the waiting car. He didn't look back. But on the plane, he took out his phone and texted his producer. "Let's delay filming. I have a story to write. A true one." 3 months later, Jerry announced his most personal project yet, a film titled, "The Girl in the Glass House." Written, directed, and starred by Jerry Yen himself. It told the story of a man who lost everything in fame, only to rediscover life through a woman hiding from death. Audiences across Asia wept. In the film's final scene, Jerry looks into the camera and says, "We're all waiting for someone. Sometimes they come back. Sometimes they never left." At the film's Beijing premiere, the lights dimmed for the credits. And then, in a surprise scene, Luna appeared ***. Not as a character, but as herself, on camera, in a white dress, holding a painting of Jerry. She looked directly into the lens and said, "I didn't need to be found. I just needed him to find himself." The screen went black. The crowd erupted. Jerry Yen didn't just make a comeback. He crafted one of the most emotionally honest journeys in celebrity history. From vanishing in silence to returning as a voice of truth, Jerry reminded the world. Love doesn't die. It transforms. Fame doesn't destroy. It tests. And sometimes, disappearing, is the beginning of becoming whole. The Girl in the Glass House wasn't just a hit, it was a global phenomenon. Translated into 26 languages, the film broke records from Seoul to Paris. Jerry was nominated for Best Director at Cannes, and his performance was called a spiritual earthquake by critics. But success comes at a price. 1 week after the film's release, Luna's peaceful glasshouse was no longer a sanctuary. It was swarming with drones, camera crews, obsessive fans, and online bloggers camping outside the mountain roads. They wanted the woman behind the mystery. Jerry's team received an anonymous threat. Release Luna's medical records and diary, or we do it for you. They dismissed it as a hoax. But 48 hours later, Luna's entire private medical history, sketches, and personal journal entries were leaked online. Pages detailing her fears, her illness, her thoughts about Jerry. The internet went insane. News outlets fed on every word. One headline read, "Luna's final days. The muse was dying all along." Jerry was furious. He stormed out of a press event in tears and called a private emergency press conference the next day. Standing before flashing cameras, Jerry Yen appeared not as an actor, but a man crushed by betrayal. "You wanted a love story? You wanted truth? We gave it to you. But you took her silence and turned it into your circus. This is no longer art. This is violence." His voice broke. He walked off the stage. The world had never seen him like this. Raw, unfiltered, devastated. That night, Jerry and Luna disappeared again, only this time, together. Using a private route mapped out by trusted locals, they fled the glass house in the middle of the night, leaving behind all belongings. The only thing Luna carried was one painting, the portrait titled Phoenix. They traveled to Morocco, using aliases. For nearly 2 months, no one could find them. Rumors exploded, everything from secret marriage to Luna's death. What really happened during those weeks would only be revealed much later. 1 year later, Jerry released a 6-minute video on a silent platform. No press, no trailers. Just a link titled, "This is not a goodbye, **." In the video, Jerry and Luna sat on a balcony overlooking the Moroccan desert. She wore a scarf, eyes calm. Jerry held her hand tightly. "We're okay," he said. "We're not hiding, we're just living. There's a difference." Luna smiled. "You've seen our pain. Now let us have our peace." Then the camera panned to the sand dunes. Jerry whispered, "This isn't the end of our story. It's just the chapter we keep to ourselves." The video ended with the words, "You don't need to see everything to believe it's real." While in Morocco, Jerry secretly wrote his next project, a book, not a film. Titled The Fire Beneath Silence, it became an instant bestseller upon release, filled with poetry, letters, and hidden entries that reflected his private thoughts during exile, love, and loss. The final page read, "We didn't vanish. We just turned the cameras away from us and toward the sun." 3 years later, Jerry Yen and Luna made one final public appearance, at a charity event in Kyoto to support rare disease research. They walked hand in hand. No interviews. No red carpet. No drama. Just two souls who had faced everything: fame, fire, illness, heartbreak, and invasion, and still stood by each other like silent warriors. Someone in the audience whispered, "That's not just love. That's legend." Jerry Yen didn't just return, he transcended. He reminded the world that true love doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops. It can be whispered in the dark, protected in silence, and reborn in the ashes of chaos. He taught us, you can vanish and still be unforgettable. You can break and still be beautiful. And you can choose privacy over popularity, and still change the world. Fame came for Jerry and Luna again. But this time, they walked through the storm together. And they never looked back.